Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darren. Hope you're all safe and well and having a good stitchy week. So today we're doing a stitch with me and we're doing it on this one, which is the Sunset Koala by the Cross Stitch Studio. This is where we're going to be starting from. So this one is on 38 count Brittany Lugana. The colourway Sage. It's a very nice fabric to work with, I must say. So we'll see what we can get done on this one. So hopefully we're going to go for an hour. Hopefully. So I'm just trying to find out where I need to be starting from. This is done 1/1 full cross. And again, my hand will more than likely be in the way because I still haven't ordered my new phone holder. Come here. Thank you. So, apologies. I've got you plugged in as well. I've got to charge this phone up yesterday. So if you do get some sudden jerking, I do apologise. That's if you watch these while you're stitching, or if you're just stitching, or whatever. It's going to be a pain. I'm going to keep catching you, I know I am. I think I've got enough battery charge in this one, so we'll unplug you so I don't keep catching you. I'm making you seasick from rocking. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here on Sunday. It's already 20 degrees. It's going to be a warm day. And on Tuesday, I think it is, so yesterday as you're watching this, we're meant to be getting up to 38 degrees. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a hot summer. So we'll start with work updates. I know you'll like that one first. So, work's been interesting, to say the least. Well, pretty boring as well. So, I can't remember what I've told you since last time. So, but on my saw, as I've told you before, I can only cut certain type of woods because the saw is so crap. So the other week, I was finishing off an order, and the boss must have given me about 6 different ones to cut afterwards. So when it was getting towards, well, when I was finishing off my order, I went to the boss who deals with all the orders, and I asked him what he wants me to do, and I told him what his dad was getting me to do. So he gave me this list, and he says, "But Dad, tell him this is your order. This is what you're going to be working on constantly." He says, "And you'll be finishing it at some point next year." I was like, "Ready, hope." And it's a big order. So it was like, they needed 20 packs of fence palings. Those don't take an awful long time. And then the rest of the order is for pallets. And it was like 149 packs of this, so 100 39 packs of another one. And I was like, ooh, that's a big order. So I started on with that, and the boss was every day. It's like, how many more palings have you got to do? And I was like, I don't know, like 15 or whatever. Every day he kept going up, and it's like, why does he keep asking me how many palings I've got to do? And I was like, I know what he's after. He's after getting on my saw. Because there was 3 on the splitting saw, which is where he normally is. And I thought, I know exactly what he's after. Anyway, I finally finished the palings, and the boss was speaking to me, and apparently I'd done 3 more than I needed to, even though I had a list and I was marking off every time I did one. And it's like, yeah, he says, all the other ones that you meant to be doing for the pallets, he says, because there were 3 different sizes, he says, they're all going to be one size now. He's like, right. He says, they've changed the order. He says, they don't want this size and they don't want this size. And the size that they want 500 packs of it. I was like, what? 500 packs. It's like, yep. He's like, that's going to take me probably till the end of next year to get all done. So I was like, that's going to be fun. And then he walked off. I was like, oh, great. And then, it would have been Wednesday last week, he decided he was going to be on my saw. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. So he's there pummeling these pieces of wood through. But he doesn't look when he's feeding. He just pummels them through. So you could not be at the saw because you could be sorting out something on the pack or whatever like that. And he carries on feeding them. So I kind of shouted and swore at him a couple of times. And then, because he just rams it through, it doesn't give the saw a chance to recognise that another piece of wood has been put in. So it starts cutting the pieces of wood at wrong sizes. And he's like, why does this keep cutting pieces of wood wrong? Because you're feeding them in too fast and you're not looking at the wood before you put it in. Because my saw has rollers inside it, it being an automatic one. But some of the wood is thinner at one end than it is at the other end. So if it's thinner at one end, it doesn't read it right. Because it only reads it from when the rollers clamp onto the wood. So it misses part of it. So then some pieces will come out really, really long and some pieces will come out really, really short. But he can't get the grasp of that. Anyway, he was moaning about it and it's like, I hate this saw. He said, I've a good mind to take... Okay, one extra stitch in here somewhere. He said, I've a good mind to get this saw taken out. He says, and this old saw here put in. I was like, yes, do it, do it. So, and then a little bit later on, well, no, I said to him, I says, well, it's only for a couple more months. I says, because my new saw will be here soon. He went, it's not even been ordered yet. I was like, great. Anyway, about 10 minutes later, the guy who sold him the splitting saw turned up. He was bringing a part that they ordered. So he turned up with this part that they needed. And anyway, the boss was talking to him and then he went inside. And then it was break time for us. So we sat on break and then this bloke comes out and starts taking pictures of my saw. I said, oh, you're going to hire it up for me? He says, no. He said, I'm getting rid of it. It's like, yay. I says, what, today? He says, yeah, just have me load onto a truck. He says, no. He says, I have a funny feeling though. He says, this will just be going straight to the scrappers. Because nobody wants these saws because they all know how crap they are. So, hopefully now it means that my new saw will be getting ordered. I'm hoping. I'm hoping the lighting's alright. I mean, the sun's disappeared. So yeah, so hopefully now my new saw is getting ordered. So yeah, so I didn't have him on my saw much on Friday because he had to do a couple of loads on his truck, and I was like, yes, thank goodness for that. And when he did come back, he was over on the splitting saw because this new part that they'd got, it's like a belt for, like a conveyor belt kind of thing, because the one that they had on theirs is split, so they got a new one, and they were trying to get it fitted, and for some reason it wouldn't fit. It's the same size as the belt that they took off, but they couldn't get it back on. So they spent 3 hours with the 2 guys that were on the splitting saw. Then the other 2 of the other guys went over to help. And Shane come back from doing his delivery, and he was over there helping. And I was like, wow, like 6 people trying to fit one belt, all of them trying different ways and scratching their heads and everything. Anyway, some of the guys went back to their own saws, and then I say not long after the boss turned up, so he was over there and he was trying to get it working out. So you're not going to do it. And it's like, well, why don't you just put the old belt back on? So for some reason they can get the old belt on and off, that's not a problem, but they can't get the new belt on, even though it's the same size. I don't know why, but it just won't go on. I think it's because it's not being worn in a bit, so the other one's a bit more, maybe a little bit more stretched or flexible. Well, why don't you put the old saw back on, old belt back on, so then you can use the saw and get your stuff done that needs to be done. But nope, they still persisted in trying to get this on. Anyway, by the end of play, they still hadn't got it on. So they've got one of the engineers who deals with that kind of saw coming out on Monday to fit the new belt. And I bet he gets it on within like 10 minutes. So yeah, so that was fun and entertaining to watch. So I don't know if I'm going to end up with the boss on my saw or on that saw on Monday. I'm hoping it's not on my saw. I don't mind working with the boss, but when it's getting hotter and he's pummeling these pieces of wood through, I'm trying to keep up with them, and then I've only got one fan blowing on me. It's a bit ridiculous. It gets too hot. I overheat really quickly. So as soon as it starts warming up, I feel it. So I get hot really, really fast. So obviously, being on there with him means I'm sweating my bits off. It's ridiculous. Other than that, I don't think there's been much excitement going on for work. It's all been pretty boring. That's not on me. I hate it when you somehow manage to go through your thread. I hate it when that happens. And I'll just snip a bit off so I can do more stitches and then I can end it. we've had a couple of hot days here and hot nights. So we've had the aircon in the house to keep it cool for the cats. And now the aircon doesn't reach down to the bedroom, unfortunately. So we've had to use one of the portable aircons. Now luckily, because we've got the ensuite, plug it in the ensuite, blow it into the bedroom to keep the bedroom cool. Now Shane was talking to one of the guys at work. One of the guys at work says, "Oh, we've not even had our aircon on yet." It's like, "How have you not had your aircon on yet?" He says, "Well, you get hotter than we do." It's like, but still, it's been in the high 30s, no matter where you've lived, and you've not had the aircon on. It's like, no. I says, "No wonder why you squeak when you walk." He started laughing at me. Right, see if I can get this one more stitch, and then we'll end this thread and then find the next colour. Fun part, trying to get this knotted bit off the needle. I think I've got it. There we go. So Shane's down at his mum and dad's. He was going to his friend's, but his friend found him up to say that he wasn't very well. This was what he always goes down to his mum and dad's first before he goes to his friend's. And his friend found him up to say he wasn't very well. So Shane decided he was going to stop at his mum and dad's because he's helping them with their greenhouse. His mum wants him moving or something, I don't know. But yeah, so he's helping him with that. So, no idea when he'll be back. Is that a straggler or? Must be, it hasn't gone through properly, look. Apologies for the noise, I've just knocked something over on the table. Just going to get my snack nabbit and pull that thread through. Again, apologies for the rustling. Right, there we go. Right. So, Shane's sister's now near enough all moved in. They've got, well, Shane was speaking to him yesterday, and they've got, the main thing that they're bringing over at the moment is her husband has built some like raised gardens. He's doing like aquaponics or something like that. So they were bringing the gardens over. So they've just got, I can't remember how many beds he's got, but he's got a few. Wicking beds, that's what they're called. So he's got a couple, I think 2 more to bring over. And then that's everything out from the old house. I think they were hoping Shane was going to come over and do it all for him. And then he told him he wasn't going to be here this weekend. So I think that went down like a lead balloon. But his sister kept saying that the new house that they moved into is bigger than ours. And when we went round to start moving him in, and then we had a look around, it's like, I don't think it's bigger than ours. I think it's the same. It's either the same size or smaller, to be fair. But his sister seems to think it's bigger. It's like, it's definitely not. Even Shane says it's not bigger. If you hear any cats messing around, they're chasing skinks out in the cat area. Even though they can't get the skinks because they're on the outside, but they're still chasing them anyway. So if you do hear any noises all of a sudden of banging, it's probably the cats jumping around trying to get to one. Tiger woke me up at 4 o'clock this morning, running around the house like an idiot. I don't know what he was doing. And I was playing with one of his toys at one point, but yeah, at 4 o'clock this morning. Not really. And then at 4:30, Ginge started because he wanted feeding. I was like, let me have a lie in. So I just ignored him. And then got up at 10 to 6, I think it was. So I had a bit of a lie in. Mum's doing okay. She had the opticians out last week, I think it was. So she got to have new glasses. So I don't know when they're getting delivered or ordered or picked up or whatever. So over in the UK, generally it doesn't take too long for you to get your glasses. They always say like about a week to 2 weeks, and then a couple of days later you get a phone call saying that they're ready. So yeah, so she's getting new glasses. The conservatory kind of come to a halt. I don't know if my brother did any last Sunday. He was meant to be going down. I don't know if he did any yesterday. I'll find out when I phone up today, because he's got to try and finish his other job that he's doing. So he's working longer on that to try and get that one finished. So I know he's up to the roof part on Mum's, because that's what it was meant to be starting on the other week. I don't know if he's ordered the windows or not. He was meant to be doing that as well. It depends how busy he's been, I suppose. Excuse me. Well, other than that, my mum's fine. I've become obsessed with watching the American Horror Stories. I watched one many years ago over in the UK. I think it was called Freak Show, I think it was. And I really enjoyed it. And I set over there we have Sky. So I set the series link up and everything for it to continue recording like the new series, but because the next series to them is not called the same as the first series, I obviously didn't record them, so I missed out on them. Anyway, I just happened to be I went on to the Disney Plus, and they come up on there, and it's all of them. I was like, great. So I started watching them on, what day did I start watching them? Thursday. So I've already watched the first one I watched the very first season. I've seen all that. I've almost finished the second season. I've got one more episode of that to watch. But yeah, I'll get right into it. So I have one question. That's all I've got. I'll get that in a second. Again, apologies. You may be able to hear the kids next door. They're up and running around already at 8:30. They actually started at about 7:45. I heard them. So anything with over here, everybody's up early. Because obviously the daylight comes up, and the daylight, the sun comes up, so everybody gets up. Including kids. You'd think with kids they'd be asleep. At least they haven't got music on today. Not yet, anyway. I don't know what they're playing. They've been playing this game now since yesterday, and all they seem to be shouting is mine. I don't know if they're playing a card game or what. But it reminds me of he's Finding Nemo with all the seagulls going mine, mine, mine. So I don't know how many kids are next door. I think there's 3 at least. I'm pretty sure there's 3. There could be more. Well, 2 of them are young. And one's obviously a bit older because he helps keep an eye on them, and he's always out playing with them. So I know he's older. I've only met one of the kids, which was the young girl. So I've only met one of them. Looks up, Kitty, you look lost. Oh, Kitty bear my feet. She's trying to decide where she wants to go and sleep. She's obviously finished chasing geckos. So we had the house inspection the other day. That went out good. Had a laugh with the realtor. I asked her who cleaned the windows before we moved in. I said, because they were absolutely shocking. She said that was the owner. The owner did it. She did all the cleaning. I said, I think she just used a dirty rag on the windows. I said, it was disgusting. She went, they didn't look that bad. I said, no, they didn't until the sun hits them. I said, when the sun hits them, I said, they were streaky as anything. She just laughed at me. So trying to decide on what my plans are going to be for next year. I was having a look at some of my projects that I haven't worked on this year to see if there was any that was like near completion or that I might be able to get completed next year. So I've got the 2 ornaments, which is the snowman and the reindeer. So I'm looking at maybe trying to see if I can get those 2 finished next year. Because there's only something like, I think it's about 30,000 stitches left on them or something like that. Or just less than that. So I was like, I might be able to get both of those finished next year. But I don't know. And I was looking at Pandemic and Anzac, and it's like, so I may be able to get a couple done. But then it's breaking out if I just do like, work it out for just doing like a certain amount of stitches each month, or do I just like go whole hog and try and get them finished, or I haven't decided yet. And then I've obviously got my new starts. There's only going to be a couple of new starts, but when I worked it out, I was like, do I really, if I do start all these that I'd put down that I was going to start, then it's going to take me to nearly 70 whips. It's like, do I really need 70 whips? Because it's going to take me forever to get them all finished. Or do I just concentrate on getting some finished? And just having maybe the odd 1 or 2 new starts. I haven't decided yet. So I've got a couple more weeks to think about that one. I can't believe it's almost November. Well, it will be November. November the 1st, the day that you're watching this, I think. Yeah, Wednesday's 1st November. I think. No, I don't know. So yeah. This is my brother's birthday soon. He was born on Bonfire Night, so the 5th of November. I don't know if you can hear the kids or not. I don't know if this is picking them up. They're getting a bit louder. So right, let me find this question out. I know it's from Sue. I think that's the only question I've got. Yes, it did. Right, so this was with, I'm going to have to turn the light on, the sun's disappeared in 2 seconds. There we go. So this was with regards to the new fish tank. So I mentioned we had some cories. So Sue wants to know what kind of cories did we get. She used to have the panda cories, which were the cutest ones, and we just got the albino ones. So we've got 2 of those. She wants to know, Shane, did Shane name all the fish? Yeah, they're all called Bob. So no, he hasn't named them. So we got 2 cories, and then we got 10 neons. We've lost 1 neon, so I don't think we've done too bad really. And then we managed to get a plec the other day. Well, I said the other week. So we got a plec. So he's swimming around there merrily. He's an albino as well. It was cheaper to get an albino plec than it was to get just a normal brown one that most people have, which is very strange. And they're not cheap. Well, not over here anyway. Depending on the colour of the plec, I don't know why, it's more expensive. So the one we got cost, I think it was $15. And then for the brown ones, it was like $60. It's like, what? And then depending on the size of it and all, depending on how much you paid. I mean, some of the plex that they were selling were like $150, and they weren't that big. It's like, how can you justify that price for a fish? I mean, it's not like they're a rare fish or anything. That was just ridiculous, the price that they were charging for a fish. Yeah, Shane can't make good style as well, getting the fish. He says, yeah, we'll go and get some fish. Alright then. And then we got to the counter after we picked the fish. And he's just stood there. And I went, well, how are you paying for it? He went, well, I don't know. I ain't got no money. I was like, seriously? So I had to pay for the fish. It's like, why would you come out to buy fish if you've got no money to buy fish? Little kid. And the same happened when we went for the plague. I ended up paying for the plague as well. So all the fish technically are mine. So also wants to know, can we see a picture of the aquarium? Yep, so I'll take a new updated picture of that. She wants to know how many gallons it is. I don't know what it is in gallons, but it's a 70-litre tank, so it's not a very big tank. Yeah, it's just 70 litres. It's only a small one, which is, I think it's 2 foot or something like that. It's not a very big one. And Shane was at his mum's, and he says, "Oh, Mum's got a fish tank we can have." I was like, "We not need another fish tank." He went, "Why not?" I said, "Because we've got one. We don't need a second one." And then he said, I don't know why, he keeps looking for fish tanks on Facebook. We found one that was 7 foot. It's like, let's just see how we keep the small tank first before you decide to get another one. So I don't know why he's after getting another fish tank. He says, yeah, but we can have more fish. It's like, yeah, and who's paying for them? Exactly, me. No. It's not happening. Excuse me. This bit is there. Sounds like there's 4 kids next door. They could have 4 kids. As I say, I don't see them. I don't see the other neighbours either. They'll just kind of keep themselves to themselves here. You hear them coming in and out all the time, but you don't actually see them. So next week I've got, on Friday, I'm at the hospital and seeing the psychologist, see the results of my memory test stuff. And then I got a letter through the other day to tell me I've got a follow-up appointment with my neurologist. So that one's towards the end of November. And on Saturday next week I've got opticians and get my eyes checked and see what they say there. Because they were concerned that my eyesight had gone downhill more than it should have done last time I went. So we'll see what they say this time. I have a funny feeling I may need to wear my glasses most of the time when I'm doing stitching and watching TV and that. Well, stitching anyway, close work. Because sometimes I have noticed, it depends on what count I'm stitching on. Sometimes I have noticed that if I put my glasses on I can see it better. So I think my close-up vision's deteriorated a little bit. Well, we will see. Kidding, yeah. I have no idea what these kids are saying, but it just sounds so funny. It's some kind of cheer by the sounds of it. So I was having a look at the small dimension kits that my brother got me for Christmas last year to work out how many stitches they are. It doesn't actually tell you on the packets. Well, if it does, I can't see it. I had to count it up. And they're about 17,000 stitches, I think. Because I was like, I wonder if I can get these 3 finished as well next year. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen either. But I took the pieces of fabric out of it, and it's like, oh, these are tiny. So I don't know how I'm going to stitch them ones. Because I think they're way too... The fabric's way too small to put in a Q-snap. I'll put the little 8x8 Q-snap, but it's still going to be too small, because these are only 5x7s. I'll just stitch them in hand, I think. Which could be interesting. Because I definitely don't have any hoops that small enough for it to go on. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting doing them ones. I was pulling out the new projects for this month. I was making sure I'd not miscounted. And I was like, yep, I've got 3 projects left in my bin. Well, not bin, my tub. So yeah, I worked it out right. So there's only 3 more. 3 more projects to work on, which will be December's ones. Let's try and get all my floss bobbinated. Put into my double-sided storage thingy, so then I can make it a bit easier for stitching on some of them, and then for any new starts that I do next year. I have impressed myself this year by not doing any new starts. I didn't think I'd be able to make it through. Oops, put that one in the wrong spot. I didn't think I'd make it through the whole year without wanting to start something new, but it's not actually bothered me at all. Mind you, we're still in October, there's still another 2 months yet, who knows? Well, no plans on starting anything new. Where are we going to? Anything else? I've got that many. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat today. With that many flossers on thread drops. I think I'll have a master set of flossing bobbins and a master set of thread drops. So we'll go through and pick out the colour that I put in wrong on the mini tag on the rocks, which I think was black, I think it was. Or I put it too far down. I've got that one to pick out yet. So I don't think that'll get much work on it this week, because I'll be too busy picking out the parts I've done wrong and trying to stitch them in the right spot. But we will see. Apologies. Sorry about that. That was Shane. As I said about him to start stitching, Tiger decided he was coming up, he wanted a fuss. Which is also good that Shane found up at the time he did, because the kids decided to blast music out and they were all screaming and shouting. So thanks, a good job I don't work nights and I was in bed. Otherwise I would have been kept awake. Last night Kitty was running backwards and forwards like an idiot. I was like, what's going off with her? Why is she running all over the place? So she was running outside and then running back in towards the carriage, then running back outside again. And it's like, okay. So I put the light on outside in the cat area. There's a black and white cat. I was like, that's what she's running around at. So yeah, so it was near the bedroom window. And it saw me and then turned around and hightailed it out there, jumped over the fence. I'm assuming it's someone's cat because it's got a docked tail. So I'm assuming it's one of the neighbour's cats, but I've never seen it around before. So yeah, you always know when there's a cat or something around. Because the cats just start going backwards and forwards from one room to another, trying to figure out how they're getting out. The next time I do a stitch with me, I might try and put the camera on the opposite side. I might keep my hand out of the way then. Because obviously my hand goes underneath the camera. I might put the camera on this side here, and see if that makes any difference. It probably won't. I'll probably still have my hand in the way, but hey, there we go. Once I've finished doing this stitch with me, I will go and do my laundry. I was going to do it yesterday and it was really overcast and it looked like it was going to rain most of the day. So I thought, well, I could do it and just put it in the dryer. I thought, but last time I did that, the Sunday was decent weather anyway. And so far today, it looks like it's going to be a decent day. So we'll put the washing on and do it that way. Stick it outside. Not much of this colour left that I'm doing. There's only 117 stitches of it, so this will be done in no time. Alright, okay, here we go. We're going to attempt to count because there's just one stitch on the next page. There, if I put it right, should be where that one goes. I'm hoping. Did a bit of work on mini top frog yesterday. So I completed another 3 colours on there, so we're getting down towards the 80 colours remaining. And I picked one symbol and I haven't even got the colour in my things. So I was like, because one I've stitched with this colour before, so I don't know where that colour's gone. Because they always stay, they're all on the ring. Because they're on thread drops. So I don't know where that colour's disappeared to. I'll try and find that colour right now so I can complete that one. Because there's only, I think, about 40 stitches of that colour to do. So I was like, well, that'll be another colour down. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the floss for that one. I didn't have it in any of the ones I got kitted up that were around me, so no idea where that colour's gone. Let's go through my fabric stash and all at some point. See what fabric I've got, because I need to make sure I've got fabric for doing the new start on my brother's, which is the mini moose crossing. So I can get that started next year. Well, hopefully starting and finish next year. And then I don't think I've got any black 18 count fabric spare. I want to start the, what's it called, menagerie piece, which is the 3 big cat's heads, so the tiger, lion, leopard. I don't know what the other one is. So I can get that one done as well, but that one's on black fabric. So yeah, I need to go through and have a look, see what I've got, and see if I need to order any before the post stops for Christmas. As I was saying, Australia Post are expecting it to be really, really busy this Christmas period, so they're stopping the last day deliveries earlier than normal. So I've got to send the Christmas cards off to the UK, I think by the end of November, so they get them in time. I think that's what it said on the news. Just gotta wait for the Christmas cards to come out, you know. They've got all the decorations and whatnot out, but they haven't got the Christmas cards out yet. So I need them to hurry up and bring those out so I can get my Christmas cards and get them wrote and sent off. Alright, we'll finish this stitch. And then we'll call it a day for the stitch with me. I think we're at about an hour. I think it was about 50 minutes when Shane phoned up, I think. So, let's say we'll leave it there. So if you do have any questions or comments, then again, feel free to drop those down below. Again, you can email me as always. My email address is dizzystitch@gmail.com, or I am on Instagram @dizzystitcher, or Facebook on the Facebook group. So yeah, so there we go. So we're not done too bad. So we did 174 stitches. So I've still got a fair bit to go. About 100. How many stitches have I got? Yeah, 100,000 stitches left to go on this project. This one's not going to be a quick and easy one. But might get it done in 2 years. You never know. So, alright, guys. So, thank you very much for watching again, as always. So much appreciated. So, again, till my next update, which should be my normal update video at the weekend. Take care, stay safe, happy stitching, and bye bye for now.